Today, we're going to talk about the Xvive U45 in-ear monitor wireless system. Why? Well, because they asked me to. Some of you might remember I did a review on the Xvive U4 in-ear monitor system a few years ago. And it worked great. I had zero complaints about the unit. So I was thrilled when Xvive reached out to me and asked me to check out their new system, the Xvive U45 in-ear monitor wireless system. Now I know that's what it's called because it says so right on the box. Speaking of the box, let's open it up and see what's inside. Now obviously, I've already tried everything out, but it's always super fun to open up a new box. So we have the transmitter, the receiver, a 1/4 inch to XLR adapter, a USB charging cable, a small carrying bag, a little pamphlet of additional Xvive goodies, and a manual. For stupid people. Oh, relax. That's just a little joke. Truth be known, I always read the manual. But I'm kind of a nerd. I could buy a hammer, and if it came with a manual, I'd read it, because I might just learn something. And we all know, I could use some learning. As I mentioned, I've already done a full review of the U4 model, so if you're interested in that video, I'll be sure and leave a link below in the description box. But for this video, I'm mainly going to focus on what's different between the U4 model and the new U45 model. On the left, we have the original Xvive U4 model, and on the right, we have the new Xvive U45 model. Now, to keep from getting tongue-tied, I'm just going to refer to these as the older model and the new model. Otherwise, I may start to sound like Junior Samples.
Come on down to the lot and ask one of our salesmen on parole to work out some terms for you. That's BR549, and hold down the collect calls. I'm no old Rockefeller, you know.
All right, let me give you a quick tutorial on how to set this up. Let's start with the older model, and we'll begin with the transmitter. On the left, you'll see an aux or line switch. To keep things simple, if you're using the unit with a computer or something similar, you'd switch this to aux. And if you're using it with a mixer, then you'd switch this to line. And on the right, you have your power switch. And the bottom button is your channel selector. Now let's look at the receiver. On the top, you have your power button. And beside that, your headphone output jack. On the front, you have your volume knob. And beside that, your channel selector. Now this is the part that seems to make people nervous. And there's really no reason for nervousness. To set the unit up, turn on the power on your receiver and select your channel. Let's try channel 3. Then turn on the power on your transmitter and make certain it's on the same channel. The green light lets you know it's connected. Then just take the transmitter and plug it into your mixer. If you don't have an XLR input available on your mixer, just use the 1/4 inch to XLR adapter. Now just take your transmitter and plug it into your mixer. That's all there is to it. So what's different between the older model and the new one? A lot. To start with, the older model transmits on 2.4 gigahertz, where the new model transmits on 5.8. Well, what does that mean? It basically means it's more reliable. 2.4 is a more common frequency, therefore it's more likely that someone else is going to be using that same frequency. So you're likely going to experience more dropouts, more problems. Conversely, 5.8 is used less, so you're less likely to experience dropouts, fewer problems. They've also added a scan function. The scan function finds the best possible channel available. Turn on your receiver and press the channel button for 3 seconds. Then turn on your transmitter and set it to the same channel. That's all there is to it. Now this is an important detail. Before starting the scan, be sure to turn your transmitter off. That way the wireless signal doesn't interfere with the scanning process. I totally learned that from reading the manual. Another upgrade, the new unit now has more than 100 feet of transmission distance, and you now have 110 dB of signal-to-noise ratio. Another giant upgrade, and possibly my personal favorite, is the charging cable. The older model used a micro B charging cable, while the new one uses a Type C. And finally, for the last upgrade, well, the new one is gold. The original was gray. And of course, the new one is gold. What can I say? I'm shallow, so I like new things that sparkle. So is the new Xvive U45 worth the upgrade? In my opinion, yes. Just the Type-C charging cable alone is a huge upgrade for any working musician. Nobody likes stumbling around in the dark trying to figure out which way to plug your cable in. And jumping from 2.4 to 5.8 gigahertz is a real game changer. I honestly don't believe you're going to find anything like that at this price point. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Hope you learned something new. And if not, well, consider the source. And as always, if you haven't already subscribed, I wouldn't bother. However, if you've enjoyed the video, maybe give it a like. It helps out. And for those interested in merchandise, please visit store.themaddrummer.com. I don't care if you wear it, just buy something. Thanks for watching. The Xvive U45 in-ear monitor wireless system. That way the wireless signal doesn't interfere with the blah. The Xvive U45 in-ear monitor wireless system. There we go. So I was thrilled when Xvive reached out to me and asked me to check out their new system. Yeah, that was pretty smooth. And it worked great. I had zero complaints with the unit. Didn't come with any cookies though. I like chocolate chip. Speaking of the box, let's open it up and see what's inside. I think I hit a speed bump on that one. And for those interested in merchandise, the scan function finds the best possible channel available. And a manual for dumb people.